Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Gloria. If you see me for the first time, thank you for stopping by, clicking on this video to see what I have to share in today's video. Now, going further to why I have turned up my camera again to film this particular video is because there is something I would like to share with you all, parents particularly, and parents to be. We cannot be too comfortable of our environment. This is where I'm driving to. Now, the moment you begin to have children, you must be one step ahead. You must develop an eagle's eye. You must be suspicious. Now, for me, in my opinion, there is a healthy kind of suspicion. You're suspicious in a way that your suspicion drives you to protect your children. Casting my mind back to when I was raised, I particularly understand the terrain with which a lot of children in my generation were raised. I would say this for free that it was more or less a communal kind of upbringing. Everybody watched out for everyone in the community, everyone knew everybody else. It may not be peculiar to every child, but I can say that a good number of people in this generation, grew up in that kind of setting. But there's something that I feel is a downside to that kind of setting, and this is the fact that a lot of parents were very trusting of the environment. They didn't care so much because they believed and trusted that their children were safe so far they were around the community. Little did they know that whilst they were trusting, a lot of things were going down the line under the waters that were not safe for their children. Now, you think that your child is safe in the neighbor's apartment because you know that neighbor, you eat from them, you're safe with that neighbor, you feel they're your friends, you feel you understand them, you know them a lot, and then you're okay with your children being in their apartment all day. Now, this was my experience. Even though my mom was a kind of a disciplinarian back then growing up, she would discipline us. She always tell us to stay in the house, not to go out. In fact, she would even stop us most of the time to even come to the veranda. She'd be like, stay indoors, things like that. But we still have a way, children, we still have a way of, sneaking out, coming out to play and mingle with other children. Sometimes we'd go to work and then you see other children playing. You know how it is now. You're in a community, other kids are playing, boys are playing football, the girls are playing 10-10. People are just having fun and you're up there in the balcony looking at them because mom said they shouldn't go down to play. So sometimes we'll just be the kids that we were, would go downstairs, join them, and not care of the consequences because we knew that we were going to be lashed. And so that was it. Even though our parents were more or less trying to stop us from being excessive with the way we were, let loose. We shouldn't just be let loose, that was the word. But they were, to a large extent, they're comfortable. They're comfortable to know that, okay, where is Gloria? She's in this person's house. Okay. After a while, go get her, go call her. But they were kind of comfortable that we were safe in those houses. But now, in this time that we are in, we cannot be too careful, regardless of the relationship you have with the person in question. Please do not be too comfortable. Be very vigilant. Understand the kind of play your children are engaged in. Be very vigilant. Understand where they are. Now, you go visiting your family friend, for example, and the kids are having their kids play inside. Can you be inquisitive enough to want to know what exactly is the play they're playing? What kind of cartoons are they watching? What kind of things are they saying? And I'm telling you from my own, personal experiences. Like as I'm just with my friend, my ears are alert, my eyes are alert. I'm trying to multitask. I'm listening to what they're doing. I'm trying to be watchful. Where are they? Okay, they've moved from here. Where are they going to? What kind of play are they doing? Is there anyone there supervising them? Things like that. So we can't be too careful. We can't be too relaxed because we feel that we are safe in this space. We are safe with this person. This person is my friend. This person is my family. This person is my colleague. And then we expose our children. Now, a lot of things may go down that we may not know. Still casting back to when we were raised, there were a lot of things that went down A lot of things that people experience, children experience, that unfortunately their parents really got to know when they became adults. Their parents got to know that they had passed through some kind of traumatic experiences that would just wonder, you mean this happened to you under my roof and I didn't know? Some people, some adults still carry heavy secrets in their minds and they still cannot tell their parents as a result of their childhood traumatic experiences, simply because their parents were okay with the environment, they were comfortable, they trusted people around them. It was either an uncle, it was either a neighbor, it was either a relation, somebody from the same community back home. It was just all of that. It was either a church member, things like that. And so, because of this consciousness, I know it's no longer news. A lot of people now understand the need to talk to their children more, to bond with their children more, create that enabling environment for their children to be able to talk to them, to express themselves, and also teach them about their bodies. Schools have now incorporated this in the curriculum as well, which is fantastic. Like, it's no longer news, right? That people now, children now learn about sex education. They may not call all the terminologies the way they are, but you are able to at least teach them about their bodies, their private parts, where nobody should touch you, how nobody should molest you, what you should do when anybody tries to do what to you. Okay, so this awareness is everywhere and it's amazing. But the thing is, amidst of all of this, we're still finding pockets of these issues popping up here and there, and that is why this awareness must not stop. Now, it all begins from the family unit. It must not stop because you're doing your bit in your family. As a mom, you're trying your best to raise your children, teach them these values. Somebody else may not be doing their bit. Another parent may not be doing their bit. Some other parents may just let their kids wander in the streets and not really care about them and not care what they're doing. And then when these kids eventually meet in a place, you see that they begin to rub off this, and that's not what we want. And so these conversations must continue at every given time and everywhere. And this brings me back to the fact that we must not be, left unguarded. We must not be too relaxed because we feel that our kids are in a safe environment. I'm sorry to say, unfortunately, this now goes beyond homes. I give you a practical example, right? So my little girl who, stays with me, a relative, like I always do, I always send them to church, right? They go to church, they go for their weekly catechism classes and all of that. And then I encourage them to, because I was also brought up that way and I understand the impact of that lifestyle in my life. As a child, my mom always sent us to catechism classes. So just like the Muslims have Islamia, that's how we Catholics have catechism classes, right? So where you get to learn about the faith from a tender age, you get to receive the sacraments, understand the sacraments, and also it's a very pivotal part of our Catholicism. You try to inculcate this into your children and try to bring them up in that way. The church is supposed to be a safe place, right? Now, but you still find pockets of these things pop up, and I said that earlier. And then my daughter comes to me and says she wanted to have a conversation with me. All right, so she goes and says she went to the bathroom. The boy followed her and tried to molest her, tried to hold her. Okay, so initially I was really concerned. First of all, I was happy that she was able to talk to me. And then I took it up. Like, I took it up. I took it up. I wanted to have details. What was the boy's name? How does he look? Do you know him? Can you recognize him when you see him? And all of that. Now, I'm not going to be giving so much detail in this video because it's already sorted, but I'm just here to enlighten we parents to understand that where we think is safe for our children may not be safe. That's the long and short of this video. Where we think is safe for our children may not be safe. Our children may be vulnerable in those places, and that is why we must not relent in our ego's watch. We must not feel that, okay, this place, so nothing can happen. No. Constantly be on guard, constantly be watchful, ask your kids questions. Is anybody doing stuff to them that is inappropriate? Talk to them, and then give them an enabling environment to talk to you. This is important. Now we have sorted the matter. Fortunately enough and thankfully, on the particular Sunday, she ran to me and said, I've seen that boy. Because I told her Wherever you see that boy, show him to me. Thankfully, she saw the boy in church. I rushed him. Like, I went to him, tried to interrogate him. Thankfully, also, his dad was just there. And then I called the dad, involved him, and oh, it was a big deal. Like, it was a big deal. And I'm so grateful to also that dad, okay? That dad that did not, that did not pretend or did not cover up his son for the wrong reason or did not live in denial. Some parents, I'm sorry to say, some parents, the way they will live in denial, you're telling them facts about their children instead of them to be thankful and to address the issue and ensure that their child or their children become better. They just cover it up for whatever reason that is best known to them because they feel like, okay, you don't see my child in that light. Are you accusing my child? Are you saying my child is a rapist? Are you saying, I didn't say all of those things. I'm only saying that caution your child for this thing that he has done. Interrogate him and bring out the truth from him and let him be sorry. And that dad was just fantastic. The man kept calling and calling, even the day after. He kept calling, put the phone on speaker, involved his son, like threatened him. The boy kept lying and lying about it until eventually, when he was going to escalate. So, guys, let's not relent as parents. Let's be watchful, be on the guard. Let's just watch out for our children. We cannot afford to have our children go through some traumatic experiences that some people of our generation still are battling with because of the effects of that experience. Okay, so the earlier we begin to protect our children and be watchful, the better for us. So if you found this video useful, if you want to share a thought or two concerning this particular matter, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What exactly do you think? Let me know. Share your thoughts in the comments and let's have this conversation. I pray that God will continue to bless us parents. Help us, give us the grace. It can be overwhelming, but this is what we have signed to do. The moment you bring a life into this world, then you have signed to take full responsibility for that child because you will account for it. So thank you all for watching. I'm grateful.